losing team has an individual just so good that you have to give them some credit. Because I remember, not to show my age, but it was 2 World Cups ago. Well, that's not even that long ago, actually. Well, 2 and 3 World Cups ago. It happened in 2018 and 2014. But in 20...
Nakakasar ka eh. Kaya pinakabata dito. Hilit-hilit ka ng ganyan, nakakabwisit eh.
Ikaw talaga bibigyan ko ng red card. Not to show my age.
Not to show my age. Annoying. Please continue. We're fossils now.
I know. For me, it happens time to time. In 2018, Modric got best player of the tournament after Croatia lost the final. And then in 2014, Messi got player of the tournament after Germany won the final. So those are probably like 1 in a billion chances of happening that probably won't even happen in a PFL type of setting. But I'd say there are possibilities, super rare, but possibilities where a loser or someone from the losing team should get credit for the way they performed throughout the tournament or throughout the 90. But for a 90 minutes, I'd agree more on having a man of the match from the winning team. So in the end of the day, for me, it's still yellow card.
I would say the reason why I disagreed with a red card really is actually along the same lines. So I'm not sure if it should be red, but really I would say there are going to be instances where it is extraordinary instances where, let's say, you lose a game 2-1, but the guy who scored the goal also was like delivered 5 crosses that should have been assists, but they all missed. And he was just a constant threat all throughout and was just amazing throughout the entire game. Maybe there is an argument that he could have won man of the match, or 1-0, the guy made 25 saves and all of them were spectacular full stretch. Like, all right, maybe the guy who scored chamba lang and it wasn't that great. Like, sige, we'll give that guy a man of the match. But 90% of the time,
yeah,
the winning team will have a hero that deserves his plaudits. I agree with that. But I guess I just don't want it across the board.
Yeah. So 98% of the time, the man of the match should come from the winning team.
Now I agree.
Pwede na? You can agree now with me? Okay. You have to show the card.
Okay. Yeah.
See, Jingy has to open his book.
So 98% of the time, the man of the match should come from the winning team. Okay.
All right.
So there you have it. That was our first
Maybe
ever.
the fans have some hot takes.
Oh yeah.
Don't know.
I'm sure the fans have some hot takes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm not. Never mind. They're all giving me a red card. Shout out. Oh, by the way, shout out to Ate Ven in the chat. Shout out to people in the chat giving donations also. So.
Talaga?
Donations
Shout
to
out
us.
to you guys.
Oh, this is great.
We see them here in our chat right now. Shout out to
awesome.
PFL Bible and shout out to Roof also giving me red cards.
Just to add also, I think that, I don't know why that I'm so stuck on that whoever wins, more often than not.
Yeah.
So I think that if you want to give a shout out to somebody who performed well, that's why you have social media.
Oh, okay. So you get like a special mention, but you can't win.
You
man
know,
of the
you
match.
can have like, what you call this? Some extra award for, like valiant effort for this person. Unless, you know what I mean, like a goalkeeper that makes really like, wow, crazy saves for like 30 years.
My bias a goalkeeper.
And then, they lose just because of something.
Yeah. Okay, so 98% is fair. Okay.
Because I think that's why you have social media. You can give the hype to the team that lost.
Sure.
If you wanted
that
to.
could be a nice thing, actually, like a special mention
Mm-hmm.
to the opposing team. Yeah.
So there you have it. That was our first yellow card, red card segment of PFL Hot Takes. Let's see if we bring this back in the future. I think there's room for this in our future episodes.
That was fun.
We didn't have Clara today, but I'm sure he would have had some hot takes as well. Now, moving on, we're gonna move on to our upcoming weekend. But before that, we would like to thank our drinks partner once again, Thirst. So kickoff savings this football season. Make sure to use the code PFL2025. That's all caps, no space on the Thirst app for special discounts. Thirst, for those of you who don't know, is the Philippines' only beverage marketplace. Download the Thirst app wherever you get your apps today. Now, moving on to the next PFL game week. Don't forget, all games will be live streamed at the YouTube page. That's going to be youtube.com/wearepfl. That's one word. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell while you're at it. So, on Saturday, this October 18th at 3 p.m., we have Stallion Laguna FC versus Philippine Army. At 5:45 ref after, we have Maharlika FC versus Valenzuela PV Mendiola. And then to close out our Saturday, we have Tuloy FC versus Dynamic Herb Cebu. Our Sunday double header is going to be Aguilas UMAK FC at 4, and then a major showdown between Wantagig FC and Kaya FC Iloilo. No game this week, and actually next week also for Manila Digger, who will be in Cambodia for their AFC Challenge League campaign. So good luck to them. Now, Saturday, we start things off with Stallion Laguna FC and Philippine Army. Now, those of you looking at this match might see this as one-way traffic, but Stallion did lose quite heartbreakingly last week. Is there maybe a little bit of uncertainty in this game for you, Jing?
I think it's the perfect game to get your confidence back up, actually. So, Stallion Laguna FC, yep, it's been a first round of heartbreak and drama for them. Here's an opportunity to get their feet back on the ground and start their climb back up the table. No indications say that Philippine Army are gonna make much of a fuss of this game unless they change their tact, where they go back to becoming a side that focuses on being more difficult to break down, which I think they should do. I think that is something that they should consider, and to be more physical. I think it's good that they are no longer doing the extra motions and playing in a way that is unsportsmanlike, but it does not mean that they should be a less physical team, right? They should walk that right up to the edge of what is legal to do, and get back to being a very I'm not looking forward to playing Philippine Army on the weekend. That should be the feeling every time. So I think Stallion are gonna have a great opportunity to win, but I'm hoping and wishing and praying that Philippine Army puts up a good resistance.
Yeah, Natasha, I'm expecting that you're gonna share similar sentiments about this game.
Yeah, I think that this is I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's an easy win for Stallion. But what I'd want to see is for Stallion to win nicely. You know what I mean? To show the style of play more consistently rather than in short moments. So I'd want to see more clinical finishing from them. But of course, for Army, I want to see every time Army plays, you always want to see, will this be the time that they're going to make a big upset, where they're going to cause some troubles? That, for the betting people, cause them.
What a good way to start your Saturday or Sunday afternoon. We are live here at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium for another round of the Philippines Football League. We have a doubleheader Sunday, and we will be bringing you the first game, Aguilas versus Don Bosco Garelli. This is Glenn Casas bringing you the action. Right next to me is Tasha Alquiros Dato to analyze everything from start to finish. How are we doing today?
It's going to be an exciting matchup at our hands. Aguilas UMAK FC taking on DB Garelli United. Both teams coming from a win. Aguilas on a 3-game winning streak, hoping to make it 4. But Garelli finally getting their first goals, their first wins. Can they continue on a great trajectory?
And that's the important case that both of these teams are going to show right now. One is on the trajectory of trying to get into the upper half of the table, which right now they are still dangerously close. Aguilas UMAK FC, as you can see on your screen, they are still struggling for form. While you did say that they are in a winning streak right now, last 5 games, 3 wins out of 5, it's still a big challenge for them. What do you think?
And of course, it helps that they are under a new head coach, Frank Muescan. So ever since he has taken the charge for Aguilas UMAK FC, they have won their last 3 matches. They lost their first games, and you see this against the top teams in the table at the moment. They lost against Kaya, lost against Montague. Eventually, change of coach, fresh start, revamp, retooled. 1 versus Army 5-0, 1 versus Maharlika 2-0. And got that win versus Tuloy 5-2.
Now, look at the lineup that they have right now. Currently still employing the 4-2-3-1 that they have employed the last time. A little bit of changes kasi may mga unavailable players from it. But how do you think it's going to play out for this Aguilas team?
Today, we're really going to see the depth of the squad of the Aguilas UMAK FC, especially with the likes of Palpalato, Amita, Hancock, not available for this matchup, all serving suspensions. And so we'll see the depth of the squad with the other players who will take their place on that first 11.
And that's one of the cases that they have right now. It's the rotation that's really important, and at the same time, the unavailability. This is where a really deep squad would come into play, because it's quite understandable that things like this would happen. Injuries would happen, suspensions would happen. So you would really have to expect the unexpected.
So the goalkeeper will be Shiraoka, the backline of Bongolan, Bobakar, Clarino, and Richard Talarok. Defensive midfielders of Kuom and Carl Talarok. The attacking line, Ruben Theran on the left, Kaka on the right, Aspiras as the attacking midfielder, and up on top is Adamo.
Well, now let's go over to our player to watch for the Aguilas UMAK FC here. We have Adamo, the goal scorer, one of the many goal scorers, Ibrahim Adamo. A very lethal player up front. What's your opinion of him for now?
Of course, when you have a player like Ibrahim Adamo, who's tall, physical, great with aerial battles, speedy player as well with good physicality, definitely is a player to watch. He is the top scorer so far for the side of Aguilas, has scored 4 goals already for his squad.
Well, we now go over to the coach interview for the Aguilas UMAK FC.
Okay, my name is Coach Frank, head coach of Aguilas FC. For this match, we'll just have to push our momentum The boys were sharp and motivated, and we have to maintain our discipline as a team, and we have to keep our identity. And the boys are ready for the match, and we were ready for this challenge.
Well, there you have it, Coach Muscan, one of the new head of the Aguilas UMAK FC, new head coach, new strategy, new tactics, fresh start, like you said. Now we go over to the opposite view here, and we have the Don Bosco Garelli United. Now, interestingly, when they started their campaign in 2023, they were one of the new hopefuls now transitioning from amateur football to professional. And right now, back in 2025, this is certainly a different face that we see. And Don Bosco Garelli United certainly looks like another team that could bring the big boys their money.
That's right. They're a team that can really cause some upsets in this tournament. It took them a while to find their footing. They lost against Tuloy 3-0. They lost against Maharlika 1-0. And they also lost a big margin loss against Cebu 6-0. But by their fourth game, they were able to lock it in and get that win over Valenzuela PB Mendiola. They got their first goals, as I mentioned earlier, and now that win, can they use this momentum to really catapult them into a team that can beat the likes of Aguilas UMAK FC?
Well, that is right interesting. Here, let's have a look at the starting 11 for Don Bosco Garelli. So right now, they are also, quite interestingly, implementing the same 4-2-3-1 formation. However, mayroong konting pagbabago pagdating sa midfield when they are using. I think magka-level dito yung dalawang midfield, but that's up for, up for us to see later. So what do you think of this current lineup?
So for the starting 11 of Don Bosco Garelli United, they've been having the same or similar lineup every matchup. They've already found their preferred 11. Only one change so far for this matchup, and that's Ngay, who gets the start over Tanaka.
Yeah, and Tanaka is still on the bench, as you can see. So this is most likely a tactical substitution or a tactical change, or perhaps they're just rotating some of their players here. That's quite important as well. Yuta Yamaguchi, another player to watch here for Don Bosco, scorer of the last goal. And unlike the first goal where it was a header from an open play, Yuta Yamaguchi really had to make that opportunity himself. Alanganing angle, everything was there on that goal. What do you think of this player?
And that's what you think of when you have players like Yuta Yamaguchi on the side of DB Garelli United. A player who can make something out of nothing, who can finish from very tight angles, and to really step up for the team. Because you need players that are willing to step up when the stakes are high and everything is on the line. Yamaguchi was able to do that to make sure that Don Bosco Garelli could secure that win versus Valenzuela PB Mendiola. So the hope is, of course, for him to be able to replicate that same performance coming into this matchup against a bigger squad.
Agreed with that. Well, we have a coach interview here for Mike Daniel Riconalia coming to you.
So I'm John Paul Masupay, assistant coach of Don Bosco Garelli, and I think also all the efforts of all the players from the defense and the attackers. So it's just anyone is very good. So it's just how we became consistent, and we have to be consistent and be trust our teammates and the coaches and also the management. Yeah.
From Don Bosco Garelli United. Quite an interesting lineup. On one side, we have a team who really is struggling, but really wants to get into that upper half of the table. On the other hand, we have Don Bosco Garelli United, practically new. 2023, sure, they have experience going up against the big guns, but this time around, they have started to get more stable. They have started to get more games in, and more importantly, they are starting to show some stability with what kind of football that they want to play here. So both of these teams have really something to play for this afternoon. The stakes couldn't get any higher with either of this team. So final thoughts on what you are expecting today here before we move on.
Of course, we're just expecting a big game where players will play at their best. As you all know, in this tournament at the PFL, every win, every loss could change your standings in the table. It could be the difference of making it in the top 6 or being in that bottom lower level. And for the like of Aguilas that is chasing the bigger teams, of course, if they want to make sure that they are part of that picture, they need to win against teams like Don Bosco Garelli United. But of course, as we've mentioned, Garelli United, a team that you cannot underestimate. They are a team that are very much capable of creating upsets.
And that's what you love about football. It's that it's not really one on paper. On paper, if you're going to look at it, Aguilas UMAK FC is way head and shoulders above the opposition today. But Don Bosco Garelli United have shown that they have the capacity to really move forward, to really be a mainstay in the league. And this is one important match. Can they use the last win to springboard into action and finally get more points? That's a question that we're really waiting to be answered within the next few seconds. But don't take my word for it. We are about to start. Let's push it on to the field for the match proceedings.
Lapit na ako, Luis, ha? Wala na. Bawi second game, ganun na lang. Tulog pa, Gino.
Both of these teams now vying for position, currently right next to each other on the league table. And if you could have a look at it, they're currently sitting 7th and 8th respectively. Pero although magkadikit lang sila, when it comes to the actual points, it's 9 points for Davao, or for Aguilas rather, outdated total ang binabasa natin, and Don Bosco Garelli with just 3 from their last game. So although the mountain to climb is a bit steep right now, there is still a lot of games to be played before we go to the final rounds kung saan masisplit sila into the upper table and the lower table. And right now, what's really at stake for both of these teams is to really grind on, get those points, and see how they could early on boost themselves para hindi sila naghahabol by the last. But Tasha, this is a really interesting lineup right now because we know for a fact that Aguilas has most of the core players from their Davao Aguilas days, which was already a powerhouse back then, one of the top contenders. So to see a relatively new team in Don Bosco Garelli, it could mean na there's a big gulf in class. But how do you take it?
Of course, when it comes to their head-to-head, they have played against each other in the past, and it was Aguilas team that were superior against Garelli. But this is a new season. As we've mentioned, it is a revamp for both Aguilas and Garelli. For Aguilas, rather, it was only 2 left holders from their former Davao Aguilas days with the Talarok brothers. So it is still a revamped squad. They have been able to get new foreign players inside as well as new local players as well to really shake things up for the side of Aguilas.
Well, we have the kickoff now. The storytelling is about to begin. The assumptions are about to be answered here. And we have the Aguilas in their white versus the Don Bosco Garelli in their blacks. Good tussle for the ball right down that area. Don Bosco clears it out. And the possession returns to them courtesy of that bounce off. Talan trying to navigate his way. Couldn't get that ball away, but Don Bosco able to nick it back. They have an opportunity to move forward. A little bit stuck in midfield they are. Oh, that was a little slide there from Mbida. Unfortunate, but that could have been an opening opportunity to rush. Here comes the throw. Aguilas trying to get a hold of it, trying to block traffic, but Don Bosco not making it easy for them to make that clearance. Ball still in play, no foul being called by the referee. And it comes. Aguilas trying to get it out of their own half. Unsuccessfully so, but they do win. A free kick. Well, it will be Talarok. Talarok to take it, and he does do it quickly. Aguilas just maybe trying to shuffle it a little bit, early few minute jitters. Nangyayari naman yun, very, very common, in which konting kapaan pa in the first opening salvo here, and now it looks like Aguilas is poised to make their first move. Good pass that down, intercepted by the midfield. Don Bosco back on the ball, and the turnover, in it comes.
Of course, for Aguilas, they are a team. They're swinging together. New players playing in that midfielder role today with Kwom and Carl Talarok. Talarok usually plays on the wing, but now slotting into that midfield role. As we said, with the likes of Amita not available. Center back with Hancock, again, not available today as well. So let's see how the other players step up.
And in comes the header, and right off the bar. Right off and that one, almost an opening opportunity there for Aguilas to really show that their intentions tonight or this afternoon. Well, and that really rattled the post right there.
Aguilas showing how good they can be on set piece opportunities from a corner. They were able to get a header to it, hitting the post before that sails outwards. But aggressive start from Aguilas.
Well, they have been on the back end for the opening few seconds, but that certainly was an opportunity to look at. But right now, looks like Don Bosco just wants to get control. Aguilas wins it in a critical position, and that shot right there from Kaka, not making it.
Kaka, as we know, a player, national team player from Timor-Leste.
Well, looks like we have another set-piece opportunity. Could a second opportunity like the first one take place here? We have 2 over the ball on that right corner. Everybody's ready. They go for the short one. Delivery, all too much, and sails just right past the keeper and everybody else.
So they played it short on that right-hand side. Roventeran gets the cross inside, connects with the player towards that far post, but they just couldn't keep the ball on target, and it's going to be a goal kick for the goalkeeper.
That was quite interesting there. The delivery was really okay, and there were a lot of opportunities to tussle for position there, but the header in the end of it, not really making it. And so we now have a goal kick. Is she here?
A little bit worrisome as well for Don Bosco Garelli. 2 corner opportunities for Aguilas, and they were both able to connect with the players inside the box. So aerial battles, Aguilas looking more superior.
Well, they do have that height advantage, so they should be able to take care of those set pieces properly. It's more on just making the finishing more worth their while, but Don Bosco now trying to defend with that clearance. Anywhere will do as long as it's not there. But it goes back to Aguilas for a quick throw, which they do against 2. Lining it up right down that left flank. In comes the cross. And the keeper spilled it. Ishii couldn't save it, but neither can Kaka turn it in.
And a golden opportunity for Aguilas goes begging. That was a great ball from that left-hand side. The cross was great. Ishii couldn't get a great touch to it. Keeper off his mark. But he ends up trying to make himself as big as possible to make sure that Kaka didn't have enough time to really put the chance on target.
But certainly, Kaka should have done better there. He was with a golden opportunity, no defender too close to him. The only one that he had to beat was the keeper. And now the Aguilas are still trying to get into a good position. Here comes Kaka in for the delivery right low. And an opportunity to shoot. And he does, but the keeper, Ishii, saves it. It's still on. And Don Bosco just manages to clear. How the heck did that happen? But still, Aguilas is on the attack, and they are not done yet. Referee has called for a foul, and that is just right by the outer line.
It's a good first 5 minutes from Aguilas. They've been aggressive, wave and wave of attack, whether it's from the left, from the right-hand side. Missed clearances from the defenders of DB Garelli United. They were able to clear it outside the 6-yard box, but again, quickly, this team of Aguilas able to win it back. Aspiras winning a set-piece delivery just outside the box, a dangerous area. We've seen them score from similar distance before.
Well, that was quite a dangerous tackle right there. Oh, could have almost been a card as well with the contact, but this is a golden opportunity to curve that ball in. Cartalarok with a good chance, and a 5-man wall up against him. Referee blows the whistle, and it comes. It's on target, but also an easy save for Ishii. Shotaro Ishii with good hands, watching that trajectory, able to anticipate where it's going. And he is going to take those kinds of shots all day. Now Don Bosco's turn to really put the threat in, but midfield has it hanging, and Aguilas could have it back. Ooh, that was a poor pass right down that flank, but still, Aguilas trying to wriggle their way into the tight spaces that Don Bosco is affording them. Shifts play over to the opposite flank. Aguilas still moving that ball, looking for another opportunity. Now opportunity on that right side. Shifts over to the right again. In comes. Good pass, Talarok. Into the middle, but straight into a defender from Don Bosco. Aguilas still maintain possession and is trying to reset it over at midfield, see if they could find another way through.
But so far, Aguilas showing that they can be in control of this match. They send the ball forward once. Garelli able to clear it out of immediate danger. Aguilas able to press once again and win back possession.
And that's what makes Aguilas dangerous right now, is that they can conveniently win possession right in the midfield. After the first few opening seconds, nakikita natin that they were able to, Don Bosco was able to really take the ball into the final attacking third. But after uminit-init na ang Aguilas, medyo nawawala na sila ng pagkakataong makaabante, and they always win the ball right down that midfield. But now there's an opportunity for Don Bosco Garelli to deliver that ball into the final attacking third. We have a free kick right by the half line, and in comes the delivery. Who is here to take it? Aguilas able to fend that off for now, but they need to control it in midfield. That was a good chance there by Banagodos. And a good pass into the middle. We have opportunity here inside the box. Here comes the pass, moving it forward. But there is just a lot of traffic in the way. Mbida could not find a way through, and Aguilas could be away right now. They have some numbers up front, but the defense is making it difficult. Don Bosco able to thwart that out. Keeper clears. Don Bosco able to keep it? Nope. Referee says it went over the line, and it will be out back for a throw. Talarok goes to Clarino. Diallo. And shifts over to the opposite side now. Don Bosco able to get that ball, but they still need to clear. Opting to play it, but the ball goes out of play and goes back into the Aguilas' hands. Looking into additional attacking options there. They reset. Aguilas just moving that ball right at the back, hoping for people to get themselves into better positions. Long pass, and that is a good run right there. He just needs to control it. Can a shot ensue? Oh, straight at the face of goal, but no one to take it. And now Don Bosco has a chance. Player down, but they still keep going right down that right flank. And Ngai couldn't get that ball, but he does win the free kick instead.
What Aguilas showing that they can be dangerous, especially coming from the left flank. Able to get those overlapping plays. The wingbacks able to find the runs of the wingers. They're giving decent balls inside the box. That are taking one too many touches for Don Bosco Garelli to be able to clear out of danger.
Yeah, and most of the time when you needed to take a touch or two, look at that. Wow, that was a real 50-50 challenge right there. And Ngai being the beneficiary of that. The first touch really has a lot to do with not just skill, but confidence when under pressure. So most of the players from Don Bosco is still getting to it, but looks like we have an opportunity to move it forward. Don Bosco loses it at the critical point. Can Aguilas clear? Yes, they do, courtesy of Shreoka. But Don Bosco still retains possession in that midfield. Now it's their turn to play the role of attacker. But they lose it to Aguilas right in midfield with a careless pass. And now Aguilas could be away. Kakao looking for options. He finds one on that left flank. Another cross, but thwarted by the defense in black. Well, this has certainly been quite a good mix of ups and downs for both teams, but so far it has been Aguilas who had been taking the lion's share of everything for now, and that is quite evident right now that they have another corner. In comes the delivery into the keeper's hands. It bounces off. Who has control? It's still in the air, and looks like it will go back to the Aguilas for a throw.
Wasn't the best of deliveries there from Aguilas.
Well, they can certainly try one more time, going long with that throw, and now Aguilas could be, but they have been, well, they haven't been given an easy task here for Don Bosco, just making it difficult for them to find the passing lanes, but they may have to thread that ball through the eye of the needle for it to really chip off the stern defense of this Don Bosco squad.
It looks like it's Ruven Teran who is down for Aguilas UMAK. He has been a player that has been supplying the assists for the side of Aguilas. Malaysian national team player. Also played with the U23 of Malaysia.
closer look at Coach Frank Muscan with his assistant coaches.
Well, the ball is still being disputed here by both teams, but looks like Aguilas will take it for now. They have an opportunity to move it with Kaka on that right flank. Tries to go for that quick pass to Talarok, and Talarok gets it. Asking for the pass back, he does get it. Kaka now able to cross, not this time. Good tracking back by Traore to marshal it out of play.
That was great work from Traore on that right-hand side. Diagonal run to cover. And just making sure Kaka couldn't get to the ball. As we've mentioned, Aguilas looking very dangerous coming from both wings.
Now, for the benefit of our viewers, we may call him Kaka, but on paper his name is Malik Xavier. So just to get the confusion there, look at the stats right now: 7 shots to 0 for in favor of the Aguilas, and right now they are really showing a lot of potential in scoring, but have not been able to convert none of those so far. Well, that one would just float over the line, and it will be another throw for Don Bosco in their relief to get that ball in control.
Aguilas really just dominating that first 15 minutes. Not allowing Garelli to really settle into this match. Could count the number of times, maybe 1 or 2 times that we found Garelli in the attacking third, but no chances created.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate because sometimes it's because of a careless mistake. Like earlier, they did have a good chance to build up, but that pass, though, moving the direction to the opposite side of the field was done in such poor execution. But right now, Aguilas will be trying to cross it in. Kaka couldn't get it to anyone, and it just bounces off the net. It will be a goal kick. So Garelli is still trying to really build themselves up, but like what you said, the dominating factor that Aguilas have, the strong control that they have over at midfield, has prevented really good passes from coming through. And ito yung importante dyan, you really have to make as least mistakes as possible when you're facing a team of quality like Aguilas. Midfield wins it again for Aguilas. And now they are back to Clarino. Clarino again, looking for options to move it forward. Ooh, then that was a foul right there. I think that was Kung, who was the recipient of such a bad timed tackle. Be a free kick for Aguilas. Moving it with short passes. The Aguilas FC just certainly wants to keep possession going. They know they have the ability to take those shots. They just really need to thread the needle here and get it into a critical spot. Shifting direction from the back line, moving it to the left side of the field. Bubakar, good long pass there, but couldn't get it far enough for Kaka to receive. It'll be a throw. Kaka looking for options. He finds one in Talarok. Talarok tried to wriggle his way out of the defense's way. Unsuccessful, but still he has the opportunity to reset. Aguila still keeps the ball and is moving it over midfield. Aspiras. Ooh, and that one was a tackle on Talarok, and he is on the ground. Bit too tough, that one, but still an opportunity for a free kick. Let's have a look at it again. Yeah, looks like it certainly is a foul, but yeah, I'd agree with the ref. Nothing more to it than that. And now a free kick in dangerous territory. I don't believe they have options that can do that range, but we'll never know. This could be the debut of such a skill. We have 2 players over the ball right now. Ooh, that was a good shot there, but the keeper was able to read the trajectory of that, keeps it away. Kaka, shirt was pulled. Bullen, the culprit, and referee is not happy. Chris Mark Nanyola taking control. None of that anymore, please.
You saw it from the right, how dangerous Kaka could be, especially he is such a speedy player. Bullen was already beat on the right-hand side, but the pull was just way too obvious. Made it easy for the referee to make that decision to give the yellow card.
Medyo may konting aggression pa rin when it comes to the Filipino flavor of football. But you know, that's the kind of football that you'd see pretty much anywhere. It's just the more used you are to it. Ooh, an opportunity, and it floats by everybody. 3 Aguilas players had their head an inch away from the ball, but the very last one, Bangolan, couldn't direct it goalwards. It missed everybody.
That was a fantastic delivery from M31. That was a perfect ball. It was trailing just right behind the defenders, but far enough to make the keeper decide to want to come out. They had 3 players running as well in different angles to hit the ball. 3 chances to be able to get a touch on it.
And again, they are still mounting on the number of opportunities not being taken this afternoon. You know, it only takes one special opportunity from your opponent to really make you pay. And the Aguilas will hope that this isn't one of those episodes. Well, Don Bosco now wants to take control. Chaori goes to the keeper. Ishii goes long. Some control needed down midfield. And Mbida just trying to get that over to somebody up front, but that was too close for the keeper to easily pick up. And now Aguilas restart. Clarino. Where would he want this ball? Opts to go. Still keeping it by the back line.
Defenders also, of course, of Aguilas doing really well. Not allowing anything to turn into a chance from Garelli.
Opportunity couldn't really get somebody to head that away from the keeper's hands, but still, you could really feel the attacking intent coming from Aguilas, and it's really tightening the neck right around Don Bosco right now. They are under pressure to not just defend, but to really show something that they could threaten Aguilas on the final attacking third. Aguilas now with the throw. They are trying to get it over midfield. Talarok gets over to Aspiras. Aspiras opts to go back, and now it is with the back line. Aguilas wants to make that clearance. They go low, and that's a good option that they have right down midfield. Aspiras there trying to clear himself. And now movement. Good return pass to Kaka. Kaka on the opposite side this time. And still, we have a chance! And it's gone begging! Wow, that was another close opportunity there for Bangolan to do something about it, put his team ahead. The bounce, you could see that.
But players up on top for Aguilas, just taking advantage of their physicality, winning the ball inside the box. Was a tight angle to be able to finish from. Aguilas challenging as well on the physicality of the defensive players of Garelli.
Well, Aguilas has been knocking on that door for so long. We are just asking how long will those locks hold, because right now Aguilas are really barging their way into that Don Bosco defense. Now starting over again from the back line. Ubakar goes back to Clarino. Clarino scanning for options. Finds his teammate M31 instead. Ooh, and it's still not moving forward, but they are really patient, this Aguilas squad. Kaka was dispossessed, and referee says it was clean. Don Bosco with a chance to move it forward now. Right back to Bobry. And it has just been headed away by the Aguilas defense. Ubakar just cleaning it up. Clarino now to restart. And again, they really favor this right side when the ball goes to Clarino. Ruben Tharin with the pass, but it was well intercepted by Don Bosco. Don Bosco tried to thread it through, couldn't get them out of their own half, and now Talarok has the ball. Good pass into the box. Kaka scanning for a teammate. Ruben Tharin unable to do anything about it, but they still keep the ball. Aguilas still in control. Aspiras now back to him, looking for someone up front to put it through. Unable to do so that time around, and Don Bosco could be away if they could only get it out of their own half. This time they still cannot. Moving it over. Right side again. Shifting play. Kaka. He has options, but gets it to a defender instead. There's still some tussle for the ball inside the box. But Don Bosco, in the end, came on top and has it cleanly. Now their chance with Yamaguchi on the run. Dispossessed. Good job by Combe there to get that ball away from him. And Aguilas could be on another attack. Kaka on the right. Two options right down the middle. Make it three. And he opts to take it back to the defense instead. Talarok goes all the way back to Shareoka. And now they move over to the left. Boubacar gets that ball. Still weighing his options. Goes for long. Will he find Kaka? Kaka has it. No, he does not. And Ishii, in the end, grabs it by the hand.
You can notice that Aguilas enjoying much more of the possession here.
Aguilas is virtually unbothered when it comes to the critical parts. It's like Don Bosco is giving them some space to really work at here.
You could see as well the movement of the Aguilas players off the ball. They've been doing really well to just show up in the spaces in between, making it easier for Aguilas to bring the ball up block by block by block.
But the one thing that's really escaping Aguilas right now is their finishing. They have had several shots, and more than a handful of it has not even been on target. So that's kind of the challenge that they have right now. They have the ability to get that ball over to the important spots, but when it comes to the finishing, they are still lacking in that department. And Don Bosco, on the other hand, props to their defense, they may be making it really hard for the attackers to find exactly what they need to score. But so far, Aguilas has just been piling on the shots. And again, another save by Ishii. But that was a poor execution by the keeper. That was Adamu, the player that we had to watch out for, taking opportunities by the hand and taking it all the way to the back of the net.
Defensive work has been shaky for Garelli. And Aguilas UMAK just taking advantage. Winning the ball back, takes a shot from distance. Ishii makes that first save, but couldn't keep the ball within his reach. And Adamu, a player, a predator who can smell when blood is in the air, just continues on his run. Keeper didn't have full control of it. He gets to it first and finds the back of the net.
Wow, and that was a beautiful one there. An opportunity from nothing. Another one of those that we've been waiting for. And right now, you really don't need a whole lot of quality of finishing there, but you certainly need to be ready when an opportunity like that strikes. And now Aguilas have been emboldened by this, and they are now pushing a lot of players forward, and an opportunity there, but well blocked, well taken rather by the defense of Don Bosco. Could this turnover of possession lead to something? Don Bosco is now 1 goal down, and they certainly need a backup right there.
The thing about Adamu as well, one of his characteristics is he's a player who continues his run.
here it comes. Ooh, keeper had to head it away, but it was effective. First to the ball, Shiraoka. Yung talagang hindi niya tinigilan kasi he was kind of expecting that there might be a chance keeper spills it. He was right. So, and also the defense as well kasi walang lumapit para tumulong sa keeper at the time. She had himself alone at the mercy of Adamu.
And not just that, it's also that Kaka had the time and space to take that chance.
This time, Don Bosco was able to intercept, but now they really need to play it out. And they have a chance now. They have some numbers. That's a good through ball. In it comes, up to the races, Yamaguchi. Could he level it? Not this time.
Fantastic defending, good physicality from Diallo at the back. For the attacking players of Garelli, it's just a touch too many as well. He was able to beat already the defender. He had time and space. The more touches that he took, the harder it was for him to take a decent shot on target.
But that was certainly good vision for the pass. But yes, that extra touch has certainly limited his ability to take that shot more lethally. And now they have their, I think, first legitimate opportunity to threaten the Aguilas goal, but unfortunate for them that it really didn't count when it mattered most. But for now, could that be a sign of things to come? We'll just have to see. We still have 15 more minutes of regulation in the first half. And so far, a quick cooling break kasi ang init pa rin sa Pilipinas kahit na you could already see it's overcast. It's not that sunny, but still a lot of football to be had. Aguilas now playing from the back again. And oddly enough, Kuam is actually from the player sheet that I see here, he's supposed to be center defensive mid, but he's taking the role of center back when they shift direction. Kaka makes that pass. Aspiras looking for someone, and that someone could not convert. That would be Adamu again.
That was a great ball from Aspiras on that right-hand side. He takes it so well, keeps it low enough so that it's easy for the striker to get a first touch at.
First touch, yes, but shot on target, not quite yet. Don Bosco has just been given another chance here. And now they are taking it a bit more slow, opting to go through the defense and just get more people up forward for Aguilas. And they do successfully. Now they need to get it through midfield. In comes Mbida with a good pass right down the flanks. They just need to get it. But the keeper, or rather the defender, was able to make that clearance at a critical point. No striker will get to it that time. Still an opportunity for Don Bosco with a throw. Tahan goes back to Bullen. Yamaguchi goes for a long pass, and the shot coming from Brobby rather, and it's still not gonna bother anyone. Aguilas now just taking their time. They now have a goal, and now they know that patience pays off for them. They just need to get those right and important passes through while keeping the ball, reduce the opportunities that Don Bosco can do for a counter. Good pass down the middle. Aspiras tries to thread the needle on that left side. He does. Now we just need a good cross in. Ruben Tarin couldn't get it. Or rather, that was Bongolan. And it just goes and gets marshaled out of play. It is still a throw, however, and Aguilas still the beneficiary of it. Player on the ground, though, that's Bullen. And play is still continuing, so we're still waiting if they're going to play that ball out. No, looks like they didn't have to, because referee Chris Mark Runanyola was able to notice Bullen down and has stopped the play for a bit. Quick medical here. Well, there should be a chance for Don Bosco to still turn this around, but something's really missing right down that midfield, don't you think?
Definitely, they've created one chance so far. You could see as well, especially in the last 4 minutes, were 2 instances where they were able to thread the needle, find themselves in the attacking third. You also have to say that's how good as well the Aguilas defensive line has been. Just stopping the play right away before it can even convert into something that's challenging.
It's a tough ask for Don Bosco right now, but honest to goodness, despite the number of opportunities that Aguilas has bestowed upon them, it's still 1-0, and they still do have a responsive defense like what Traore just did right now to get that ball out. Aguilas will have to find another opportunity to get that insurance goal. Kaka tries to thread it. Still, against 3 defenders and was successful in holding them off. Aspiras shifts over to the left. What can they find here with that question? The header could be in. The shot still not there. But Aguilas have another chance. And Adamu couldn't find a way to get that shot away. Talarok lays it off. And it comes. And that was such a good sliding tackle there from Traore. And again, Don Bosco was able to save themselves of that instance. But Aguilas are really piling on the pressure here with the attacking quality that they have. This time it is both quality and quantity.
Despite the number of chances that Aguilas have created, they only have 1 goal to show for. And for nothing, the rain now at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Just went from 0 to 100.
Yeah, even I was surprised. Akala ko nga it was feedback from the speakers. It's really a heavy downpour now, but the game must go on, and Don Bosco still wants to find that opportunity. From overcast, it is now a heavy downpour. But this could also mean that mistakes can now happen more frequently on both sides. Could lead to more exciting football. This could. In comes the delivery. Someone's in the box. Straight into the hands of Shiraoka.
For a moment, I thought that was static.
Same.
That's how crazy the downpour has been.
At saka hindi mo siya kita from here. The raindrops are so small at first. I really was just thinking it was the sound, but now, as you can see on your screen, those are big droplets of water coming in. And still Don Bosco wants to rain it down on the team that's currently in the ascendancy.
Well, let's see if this change of weather could mean a shift of momentum.
Sino ba ang mas sanay sa putikan at sa ulan? Don Bosco certainly wants to beat that team. Well, here they come again. Don Bosco now shifting on that right flank, looking for options, going for that long pass, trying to find Mbida, but couldn't. This is quite a heavy downpour right now. You can see that the areas surrounding the pitch, the track and field, is a little bit flooded. Hopefully, it doesn't overcome the drainage system just yet. This is a good game of football we're having.
As we mentioned, numerous attempts from Aguilas UMAK FC. Eventually, it was at the 27th minute they were able to find the back of the net. Damu takes one for the Aguilas. Makes it his 5th goal this season. Puts him up on top as the top scorer for the Aguilas side.
That is quite an impressive achievement because unlike the previous season before, Aguilas aren't really tearing up everybody here. There are still some teams they find difficult to score against, and still getting 5 goals to the goods is quite a feat. But right now, Aguilas certainly want to pour on more there. Adamo Tutalarok right down at midfield, still couldn't find a way.
And especially when you have the usual of your starters not available for this matchup.
Opportunity, and he floats it right in. Koum just makes quick work of that, and certainly a good goal to have. Wow. David Julian Koum just finds himself at a good spot to just float that ball over to the keeper and into the net.
The composure of Koum. Saw that the keeper came off his mark. It was an intelligent finish as well. She just sent that over. He cushioned it to lower it down, took advantage of the bounce, takes it while it's in the air. And as a keeper went out, just sailed that one over him.
Yeah, and Ishii really couldn't do much about that at the same time. You could see how close the ball was already. It was, I think he also realized that he's moved too early, and Koum just doing the needful there to float it out. And now Aguilas are 2 goals up. That insurance goal can certainly embolden a team that's now in a comfortable driving seat. Looking for...
But you think of on both occasions, actually, the goalkeeper could have done better.
Now that we think back of it, the first opportunity was from a spill coming from Ishii as well.
Of course, it's not just the goalkeeper, the defenders also. The first goal that happened, Kaká had the time and the space to take the chance from distance. And the second ball, it was Adamo who got there first. For this one as well, as the ball was given just inside that box, no one was really pressuring Koum. He was able to get 2 touches on it.
Yeah, you really have to at least close him down. Kahit na you don't have to commit to a tackle just yet. Just block his areas, block his opportunities, and that certainly didn't happen. But Don Bosco still not losing hope. They want to thread this pass through. They are focusing on that right flank. Shifts it over. They have players there, but they've been dispossessed by midfield again. Kaká making that pass. Good pass right there to the left side. Adamo trying to look for his brace. Not coming from there. Don Bosco now wants to just keep on playing. Mahinay being hounded.
Aguilas also showing how good they can be on transition, winning the ball back and quickly turning them into a chance.
Speaking of chances, they might have another one here. There's a lot of players in the middle. An opportunity! Sails across and goes right up the crossbar. Koum couldn't double up, not this time around, but that was a real open goal right there.
And that was a great ball from Kaká. The leave from M31. And Koum should have kept that on target.
Well, it did rattle the crossbar there. So another chance that's gone begging. But again, this time around, the pressure to score is not as high as it was 15 minutes ago. They are 2 goals up to the goods, and we are just a couple of minutes away from halftime here. So it's a real good position for Aguilas to be in.
And also just like that, the rain just quickly stopped. It was hard, it was intense, and it lasted a very short time. Just cool things out here at Rizal.
But what that also means for the players is a little bit of extra weight on their shirts now. Ooh, and that one. What's the referee's decision? Oh, I think he points to the corner flag. will be another set piece opportunity right in the dying minutes of this first half.
And this is an opportunity as well for Don Bosco Garelli United to really just send more players inside the box on the attack.
Well, we are just seconds away, maybe. I could not see or did not hear if there was a stoppage time confirmation, but Don Bosco did not make the most of that opportunity. On the other hand, this could leave them very exposed, and that could be a good pass there, but that last-ditch effort to tackle by Tahan just gets it away. That was intense.
Yes, we imagine Aguilas so quickly able to turn a corner opportunity for Garelli into a quick counter-attack, forcing Tajan to make, as you've mentioned, that last-ditch effort sliding tackle to just slow down the pace of the attack. Corner now for Aguilas and 2 minutes added to the first half.
From one side of the field to the other, another set piece could determine the outcome of this first half, and the delivery looks good, but no one there to receive it for the Aguilas team. Don Bosco could do the same with a counter, but the defense is just quick on their feet, and Aguilas has it covered, but they just need to thwart this. Heads it over to the keeper, and Shiraoka just needs to eat the timeout. And Aguilas now right back at it. Looks like they were able to mellow down the threat that almost came on them.
And you also have to give it to Kwom. He's been very aggressive when it comes to the attacks, but he's also so quick to come back down and cover ground defensively as well.
And that kind of player where you're a real box-to-box player, it takes toll on the physicality, because tatakbo yan for the next 90 minutes back to back to back, and that will certainly eat up a lot of your stamina. But to be able to be at the right place at the right time, it's really critical. Well, Aguilas have another good chance to keep the ball rolling. Talarok now looking for that pass, but it is overcocked and it will go to the defense. Adamu won't make it in time. Don Bosco just weighing their options carefully. They still have a few more seconds to do something about this, or at least change the complexion of their halftime talk. Aguilas looking for some opportunity to extend the lead, or maybe just consume the remaining seconds. And they successfully do so. It is the end of the first half, and so far, just like how we saw it on paper, Aguilas has been dominating from start to finish, and right now they are 2 goals to the goods. So far, we have a lot of football coming back to us, but Don Bosco has their work cut out for them. Before we go into the half, the score again: Aguilas UMAK FC 2, Don Bosco Garelli United 0. We'll be right back for more football action. And at the end of the first half, we have the Aguilas UMAK leading 2-0 against Don Bosco Garelli United. Again, from the paper to the stands to the actual football on the field, we could see that this was going to be a dominating game at the start, and it certainly lived up to the expectations in the first half. This is again Glenn Casas bringing you the action next to Alki, realizing the movement and the flow of this game. So far, this game has been, well, a really one-sided game. We could see it.
It's been one-way traffic so far all throughout the whole first half, and eventually Aguilas UMAK able to get 2 goals from it. They were close numerous times, finding themselves lurking just outside that 6-yard box. And this was the first goal. A shot stop, but the second ball fell perfectly for Adamu. Keeper with the spills, not quick enough to get it back. And Adamu taking advantage of it and finding the back of the net. This is one of the best chances that we saw for the side of Don Bosco Garelli, but a touch too many and the physicality of Diallo. And this was the second goal to put that cushion in. That was a great ball from Kuom. Larocque finding Kuom. Kuom finding the back of the net. He could have made it a brace for himself right before halftime, but nonetheless, very superior performance for Aguilas in the first half, and they were able to make sure to score the goals needed to give them that cushion coming into that second half. 63% possession for Aguilas, 37% for Garelli. 20 shots, 11 on target, 2 were converted as compared to Garelli with 3 shots, 2 on target. There were 4 corners for Aguilas and only 1 for Garelli. Says a lot of how this has shown in the game as well. And we'll see, of course, what Garelli will do to really bounce back in this match. They will have to shake things up in the second half.
Well, this is certainly a big question. If Garelli could have what it takes to change the course of this game, we still are looking for what that answer might be. But so far, you and I had this discussion off the mic na talagang the defense was just being punished. Pretty much, they were being punished for their mistakes. And not direct mistakes that leads to goals, but at the same time, there's something lacking in the movement that they have, probably the mentality. They don't move as sharp. They leave the keeper out to dry at times. And in those 2 times that it happened, a goal came out of it. So a lot of opportunities may have been begging, may have gone begging for Aguilas at the start, but it was when the defense of Don Bosco started to open up, the reaction time started to get a little bit more delayed. That's exactly when they started to really allow the opponents to handle them like that. So if you were to make any changes on the Don Bosco side, tactically, with the personnel, do you think there's still something that could be done along the cards?
Definitely, a game is played over 90 minutes. That's a halftime performance. A lot to look forward to in the second half for this side. They just need to be sharper on the passes, because what's happening is that Aguilas UMAK are so quick to take advantage of bad passes all over the park, whether it's in the defensive midfield line, that they're able to quickly translate from winning back possession into chances on a goal. So if Garelli can take care of the ball more often, make less errors, they can slowly build up. You saw it, as we said, it was one-way traffic in that first half. Garelli not finding much momentum. But when it came to the game before as well, when it was Garelli versus Valenzuela, PB, Mendiola, it took them a while to settle in, but they were locked and loaded in that second half.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing, because right now, it is really not that far off right now. It's still 2-0. Yeah, it is a more stiff kind of, a more harder mountain to climb, but it certainly is a big one for now, and they really have to start with the second half. And I am noticing 3 21 changes, 7 and 7 coming in, 6 coming in for Aguilas UMAK FC. So perhaps some shuffling into the personnel here that could keep the pressure on.
So De Paula, Pickering, and Yamamoto all coming in for Ruventeran, Adamo, and Talarok. And 3 halftime substitutions as well for the side of Don Bosco Garelli. Wanting to change, of course, how their first half performed was Owusu, Ariola, and Clarino all making their way on the pitch, replacing Yamaguchi, Tajan, and Banagodos. And no surprise there as well that they're making a couple of defensive substitutions as well. And in the midfield as well, Ariola and Clarino, 2 players that have played in the UAAP experience, now trying to find and make their mark here at the PFL.
It's going to be an interesting shakeup of things here. Aguilas, with their deeper squad, certainly has this ability to keep the pressure going with fresher legs in the park. But at the same time, now that it has kicked off, Don Bosco will really need to change their mental state, their mentality, their approach in this game if they want something out of it. Right now, Aguilas trying to resume where they left off by adding pressure right now in midfield. Aguilas has the ball with Aspiras, successfully just getting it back to their back line for another reset. Bangalan back to Abubakar, and still they are really utilizing everybody here. Goalkeeper also has a touch of the ball, trying to just get people moving forward for Don Bosco, but Don Bosco hasn't responded in that manner where they are pushing for that ball really high. Looking for the back and forth, trying to get their defenders out of position. Good pass to Kaka. Kaka there, trying to get away from his man. Mahina couldn't stop him, and it led to that shot, which was straight into the hands of Ishii. Ishii now wants to restart things quickly. Mahina finds that long pass, and now they are on the move on that right flank. Don Bosco looking for an opportunity to cross that ball in.
Of course, it's interesting to see 2 Clarinos playing in this matchup, but suiting up for different teams. Miggy Clarino for the side of Aguilas.
Well, here comes the movement again. Looks like Aguilas are just really adding to the pressure there. Again on their favored right side, but we could see Kaka now on the other side again. He has been a player that they've been utilizing on both left and right, just to change the matchups there. There he is again, Kaka. Passes it back to Bubakar, and now Bubakar has it, taken down, and referee Chris Mark Nanyola has blown his whistle for a foul, and it will be a free kick taken quickly by Aguilas. Good pass to Kaka on that left side. Now he just needs to pick a partner. Opts to go back, cross into the box. Still nothing doing for the Don Bosco defense, but they did manage to thwart that, and now they want to start a good attack here on that left side. They have an opportunity with Mbita. Against 2, against 3. He is still trying to get it away. Shot away, but sailed over. Unfortunate for Don Bosco.
They're really trying to make the most of that. It's a quick counter. It was a very tight angle. Waited a bit for a teammate to come in, but rather it was he ended up being doubled up by 2 Aguilas players. Made it harder for him to get a shot on target or within that angle.
Well, Well, Aguilas wants to just keep on adding that one, but the pressure has been released a little bit. They will have a free kick, though. Aguilas with a free kick and a good spot to deliver. They take it quickly. They just want to get that ball moving and to run down the time. Looking for someone to pass through. He finds Boubacar on that left side. And asking for the pass, Bangolan, he gets it. But the cross was well blocked. Still, the ball remains with Aguilas. Not after that clearance coming from Don Bosco. And still, the ball could not be controlled. It will go out for a throw for in the relief of Don Bosco, however.
Bangolan doing really well on that left-hand side. You could see he's making those overlapping runs. He's really helping out on the attack.
Well, here comes another Aguilas movement here, trying to look for that for the pockets of space, just to keep that ball in there. Goes all the way back to the keeper and nothing doing for their attack for now. Don Bosco, however, wants to shake things up. They are up front. They want to take it into the box, but no one there to convert for them. Don Bosco still piling the pressure. They still have it on that left side now. Clarino, good pass and good shot.
Best sequence that we've seen from the side of Garelli. Able to keep that onside. Give and go on the right, a cutback. They had a shot, it was deflected, it went out. Now they win a corner. Let's see if they can build up from creating that chance.
Well, now another opportunity for a set piece, something that could come off of the training ground. Clarino there, and that was a spill, but still not enough. And looks like an offside will be called against Don Bosco.
It's going to be another corner for Garelli. It was a great delivery, a header from a player inside the box, forcing Shiroka to make a save. The ball already went out.
Unfortunate that this time around, it's still a defender who gets it. And now Aguilas just wants to get that ball away. But nothing doing now. And Don Bosco with that pass, but it was unfortunate. It went behind the player. Aguilas could be away. Good threaded ball there to Kaka against Mahinay. Gets through. Bounces off the referee, and the referee has acknowledged that it has interfered with play.
I also want to use this time as well to remind everyone there's so many football happenings beyond the PFL. Of course, we want to invite everyone to continuously support the PFL here at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. But also as well that the Filipinas, the women's national team, have a friendly against Uzbekistan, October 29, 7 p.m. here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium as well.
Well, all right, well, looks like we are still with that movement right there for Aguilas. They want to do things quickly on that right flank, but they just cannot find that space. Looks like they will have to resort to the other players who are in a better position. Moving the midfield, finding Kaka on the right. Still taking the shot from distance, and it just sails right over.
And Kaka able to swiftly change directions, free himself with some space. Speeding up movement of the defender, takes a quick snapshot, just couldn't keep it on target. But just to continue on what I said earlier about the women's national team, there will also be a performance of a band. Kung kilala nyo, sana naman kilala nyo yung mayonnaise, diba? Especially for the younger people. I hope that... Shout out to Diago, my friend.
The age is showing sometimes, you know?
Let's try to make it support really. Kailangan talaga ng women's national team natin yan. Not just the women's national team, but all of football as well.
And also another opportunity to say that we are also hosting the FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup from the 21st of November, next month na yun, to December 7th. And this is a World Cup, ladies and gentlemen. So please, maraming sanang manood sa atin yan.
And you can also get your tickets at fifa.com/tickets. A lot of football action happening all around. We also want to invite you to continue to support as well the Minsan Football Show, where we break down everything about the PFL.
Very
Sport
frequent.
Upstream, as well as the PFL socials on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Let's continue to grow the community as well. And as we're at it, tuloy ko na rin, we'll shout out as well to our sponsors, the Sports Tribe, the official ball sponsor of the Philippine Football League.
That is a good-looking ball, to be honest. And right now, that ball is being used really well by Aguilas, trying to get rid of his mark in midfield. That was a good show of movement there. Still, Aguilas trying to get it through on that right flank. Delivery into the box, gets past everyone. Longan with a chance to redo another one on the opposite side. But Clarino just denying him of that opportunity. Ngayon ko lang napansin, both the Clarinos are donning the number 12 opposite their teams.
As we mentioned earlier, Miggy for Aguilas and Gino for Garelli.
Yeah, and
Meron din silang OJ sa Manila Digger, who will also be playing later today in their Challenge League matchup in Cambodia.
wow. Ooh! And just when you thought that was going sailing, Ishii had to step up and make that save, and this time around he did. Let's have a look at that again. Wow, really quickly taken there by Pickering. Charles Simon Pickering.
And Aspiras just setting him up perfectly. Pickering takes his chance, forces a save, a corner, and continuous momentum for Aguilas.
And now we have another set piece opportunity from Aguilas. Going low this time. Talarok. Can he find someone? And he does! Pickering nails it this time around. Ready for that second ball. And doesn't need a second shot after that.
You gotta love the way players can quickly change the game or to continue the momentum that they had from the first half. Pickering was a halftime substitution. He looked dangerous. He's the one that created the chance that led to the corner. But a well-taken play on the corner opportunity.
And again, makikita
They
mo.
played it short to Talarok. It was a great ball curling inside. It was a header from one of the players of Aguilas. Fell perfectly for Pickering. And showed his composure right in front of goal. In between the legs of the goalkeeper.
Wow. And you really thought that, well, for me, I saw Mahinay just ball watching there. He could have made that run to add a little bit of pressure against the striker, but then the movement was just so quick and Pickering was able to nick it right on time. So again, meron talagang contribution yung reaction time coming from the Don Bosco defense to keep things out.
Aguilas have been, as we said, they've been dominant in the first balls, especially from corner opportunities. Stronger on the aerial battle, so they get the first ball, but the second ball as well going the way of Aguilas, and this time around finding the back of the net, making it 3-0.
It could be a sign.
Makes it also, of course, a mountain to climb now for Garelli to come back in the second half. Both teams made 3 halftime substitutions each.
And as we continue on with the game, the rain has resumed as well. And while this might add some more opportunities to the run of play, that one would be called a foul and Aguilas will have a chance to deliver the ball into that box from a closer distance this time around. And this time, I think they may have a player or two who could curl that ball.
It was Yamamoto who was fouled in that instant. Just movements on the ball have been very quick. Gets clipped. Now it's Yamamoto and Talarok both on the ball.
I believe Talarok does have the skill and has the ability to deliver a knuckleball from that distance. But again, that there is a four-man wall there. He does deliver, but straight into the hands of Ishii. That was, I believe, Yamamoto who took the shot. And now Ishii will just have to pick another man to get that play going. Don Bosco opts to play it and is stuck in midfield. They did notice the free man on the wing and opt to go a long pass from there, trying to release their player, but still Ngai couldn't get to that ball fast enough. And now the ball is out. Don Bosco has back at it. Still looking for an opportunity to deliver the ball into the box. Don Bosco has it. They lose it right in midfield. That is so unfortunate. And still, Aguilas have now another chance to just turn it over, use it to readjust their attacking options. Boubacar. And again, right down at midfield, it is still being played. Boubacar goes to his keeper. Now shifts over to Clarino. Right side, Aguilas with Aspiras trying to get to that ball. But Traore just made sure it goes over the line instead. And a goal kick can come. Ishii taking his time, just waiting for the right opportunity. Makes that pass. Tries to get it to the midfield. Down that left flank they go. Don Bosco is still looking for a chance to move through. No foul, says the referee, and they still keep playing. Aguilas now with the turnover.
Talarok doing really well there to just time that perfectly. Apply a bit of pressure. But Broby now winning it back on the attack again for Garelli. It's been back and forth the last few minutes in this matchup.
Back and forth, but unfortunately, this will go to Aguilas' favor if it stays that way. And right now, we have Kuum there, making that run. Aspiras, shifting play, long shot, but Ishii able to read it well and hangs on to it this time around. No spillage.
De Paula, one of the halftime substitutions, is trying his luck from distance there. Not enough firepower to that to really test out Ishii.
Well, looks like they opt to restart again. And yun nga, talagang every time they just want to get people forward from Don Bosco, ilalagay lang nila kay Diallo, just hoping for some openings to come up to them. And looks like Aguilas now moving forward. They have a chance. Playing that over the right side. Where can this lead to? Right back into the feet of Don Bosco. But still, Don Bosco opts to play it out, and it could be to their disadvantage. It is. Kuum makes that good pass into the box, but well shielded by the rest of the back line from Don Bosco to let it just roll into the hands of Ishii. Dispossessed. And Don Bosco just really wanted to shift that direction, but the execution on that pass, plus dumudulas talaga yung bolang yan pagpasa. So sometimes some of those passes are really unintentional, but Kaka now against two, opts to go back to Kuum. And now another opportunity to move forward here. Talarok to Kaka, and a shot! And that was on the side netting.
Kaka trying his chances again. Tries to fake the goalkeeper. He pushes it out. Earlier, he was taking his chances to the further post. He tried to sneak one in, go near post. For the efforts, that's enough to win another corner for Aguilas. We've seen them able to convert from a corner opportunity. And Kwom's day is done, and in his place is Fujihira.
Well, that would be another change, maybe some fresh legs to add up to the pressure now. But certainly, Aguilas can do whatever they want at this stage just to make sure they could keep this position over Don Bosco, who is struggling right now. Ishi restarting play. Opts to go left. But what does he have up there? No one to get that ball for them. Don Bosco just gives it back. And Aguilas could be on their way to another opportunity here. Bongolan opts to go back to Boubacar. Kaka loses the ball, and it was clean, says the referee. Don Bosco, they have numbers, but that was a well-timed tackle by Boubacar.
Boubacar Diallo has been doing really well as a center back for Aguilas.
Eye of the needle stuff there, but he couldn't get it over to Tingai and Guy.
You'd say that it's been clean so far for Aguilas, most especially in the back. It's just well-timed winning the ball back, not giving away fouls in dangerous areas.
Well, that has been one of their current flavors right now. The stability that the backline holds for them, it really gives the confidence for the attackers to just move forward and leave some space behind, because you know they have that quality to stop you. But now there is another quick opportunity for a free kick. But Don Bosco really needs to not be wasteful of these opportunities.
And also you have the likes of, as you mentioned, Palpalatok and Hancock, both not available in this matchup. But the replacements of Bongolan and as well as Miggy Clarino holding their own in this matchup.
Yeah, the depth itself is really important, especially if your campaign, if your objective is to keep it with the big guys. You really have to have a full squad that you could rotate, a squad that you can pull people out from if you're in a bind. And right now, Kaka has that ball. He has space, but now he has been blocked and successfully been thwarted by the Don Bosco defense. Still, Don Bosco cannot find a way through, but perhaps this could be an opportunity now. Not quite. One-on-one battle there, and the victor is the defender.
It was called offside as well by the linesman. But Talarok as well, really just making sure whether that was called or not, he had his man covered.
And it's again that elite mentality that you see right there. You really cannot, for a split second, rest on your laurels here.
Aguilas, of course, under the new head coach, Frank Muescan, on their way to making this a 4-game winning streak.
Could be another chance there. Ooh, and it slips past, went right behind Kaka.
That bounced right in front of him within his area, but he just couldn't find his footing to turn that into something.
But Aguila still has another chance. They are shuffling the ball. No, they opt to take it all the way. And now they restart. Talarok couldn't find no one. And now Don Bosco could try to get it away, but they are really struggling for accuracy and the quality of their passes. Guy against two. And now they have another chance to move it. Robbie opts to pass it to another teammate. And now it's way back at the back line once more. Mahinay looking for options. And that pass right there can do. Bangi was really just trying to find his teammate up front.
Aguilas is showing to be very organized defensively. Not ideal having one of their players down as well. It looks like Coach Frank is just getting ready to make another substitution. Again, we'll take this moment as well to invite everyone to follow all our socials. On Instagram, We Are PFL. On YouTube, on X, at We Are PFL. The Facebook page as well, Philippine Football League. Again, a reminder of the games that are coming up. The Filipinas will be taking on Uzbekistan on home turf, a friendly for the women's national team, October 29, Wednesday, 7 p.m. And another thing to look forward to is the FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup. We will be hosting that here in the Philippines from November 21 to December 7. We have a substitution. Kaka's day is done. And in his place is Bukit.
Well, with that,
Of course, it's a chance as well for Aguilas now to continuously rotate their squad, making sure that all their players are match fit. And just to build up the confidence of the substituting players as well, to make sure that they can stay sharp. So in moments like this, when players aren't available, they can quickly come in the game and seamlessly fit into the system.
and that's what really enables a team to keep up with the big ones, because at the same time, you have to consider that fitness is going to be an issue sometime, if ever, that you're just going to rely on the same set of 11 players. So there really has to be instances where you move them around, and Aguilas just have enough depth for that. At least for this game right now, they can certainly shift the cards, and there an opportunity in the box, but no one there to convert. Aguilas still has it, and they have another turn to go around. But the Don Bosco defense held firm and kept it out. And now they are trying to go for that quick counter there, trying to get Mbida into a good place, but the pass itself was not enough. Don Bosco.
But not just that as well, when you're talking about the league as compared to a cup, it is a marathon, it's not a sprint. The depth of your squad will definitely be tested as players get injured, as players become unavailable.
Ooh. Oh, that one was a bit too obvious again. Another shirt tugged, and it was not right next to the linesman. So far, Don Bosco has only been able to get it to as slow as 3-0 so far. That's quite something, considering that there has been a lot of opportunities that Aguilas had already had. And it could have really been worse for them. So right now, it's really a matter of getting those defenders to react quicker, be able to respond to the threat earlier. And so far, they are still struggling with that.
You just have to feel that Garelli, 72 minutes already in this matchup, just haven't really found their footing or momentum in this matchup. Aguilas have been so dominant.
Again, that midfield, it's really showing the quality that they have. They are now making that run. He's looking for some space. Bukit.
And those good defensive work. for the side of Garelli.
A lot of areas for improvement there. But again, kanina although some of those opportunities had been last touched by the keeper, you really can't blame the keeper alone because this is a team game in itself. And now Aguilas just really dragging that defense out of position. That delivery, the header, unfortunate, but you saw the intent.
But you see as well, Aguilas, again, winning back possession in the attacking third, so the defensive third of Garelli. When you win it in that area, you have the numbers up on top, you're able to quickly translate that into chances.
And that's the advantage of really pressing high. But like what we always observe, if you're a team that presses high, you really have to have complete trust in your backline when you leave them a lot of space. Like what Garelli is making use of right now, but he was offside. Unfortunate. Mbida couldn't run after that ball.
And another chance of Garelli, just rushed play. Haven't really dictated the tone of this game, but constantly have just been adjusting to Aguilas.
Well, they are looking for something to hang on to right now. Maybe a consolation goal, something that would get them back on their feet. But Aguilas, really the better of the two teams right now. They are taking it slow. They are taking it with precision. And sometimes Aguilas have already made a few mistakes up front. Like I said, maganda. They can make opportunities. They can make those chances. The finish that has the 3 goals out of the more than 20. Say real more chances in than scoring goals, and that's another area for improvement perhaps for the Aguilas. But again, the BOSCO should have been able to take advantage. That close to the other, Larino. Scanning for options, goes to the midfield. And shifts the play. Don Bosco still making that run, trying to put it into the box, but straight into the hands of Shiraoka again. And they restart quickly. Taking it forward now. And into the back. Long pass from Aguilas. Shifts play to the right side, and they have this supply of people to pass it to right in the box. Asher can take ball off Aguilas right now, and it's in the midfield. Clarino was able to go moving people forward in the hopes that they could put some numbers in. And between those lines, looking for the play on left, looking for someone to pass it through into the box, but the ball has just gone over the line, and the Aguilas will take possession right back.
Again, very clean from the back line of Aguilas. They've been very sharp. Aguilas, of course, have rotated their squad a lot. Made 6 substitutions, all on the attacking line. Scored 2 goals in that first half. And Pickering scoring at the 56th minute to make that 3-0. Also want to remind everyone that every weekend is usually for PFL. And yesterday we had that triple header matchup. Cebu won 4-0 versus Tuloy. Maharlika rather won 7-0 against Mendiola, and Stallion won 7-0 versus Army. So it was a goal fest. And we have a double header Sunday. This is the first of 2 matches. Later on today, it will be Kaya taking on One Taguig. And if you want to stay updated with all these matches, all these results, follow all the pages, all the social media pages of the PFL on IG, YouTube, X, We Are PFL, the Facebook page, Philippine Football League, and our TikTok page, _ We Are PFL _.
Well, some more action here, but still Don Bosco cannot just grasp that ball. They are really trying. You could really see that they really want to push forward with some numbers in, but they just kind of stall somewhere in the middle. Well, perhaps now's a chance. They have an opportunity to put it into final attacking third. Bangi miscued that pass. Bukit making that run. Still, Aguilas just keeping that ball, eating down the time. We are just 11 minutes of regulation, and certainly the time moving down is an advantage, is something that Aguilas is really looking to keep.
See the possession of Aguilas, able to find the spaces in between, so fluid on the attack.
Ooh, that was another opportunity gone bang, but looks like there's still a chance. And Ishi this time was up to that challenge. The ball was floating in the air, and it was anybody's header to take.
That was a great ball from Yamamoto, finding two players towards the back line.
Ricardo.
Substitute Bukit, completely free, no one marking him. Defensive players of Garelli just caught ball watching. Ishi had to come out big.
Well, looks like they still could continue on with another set piece and perhaps take another page from the training ground in scoring another goal. Oh, they want to take it quick. Low pass, looking for that second ball into the box, headed away. Don Bosco could counter. They just need to keep it in control, but looks like that pass will still make it. A long shot there, trying to catch the goalkeeper off his line, but it was not on target to begin with.
Again, another chance goes begging for Garelli. Players just very rushed.
Well, this could be another opportunity there. 1v1, good sliding tackle. Boubacar just really the bread and butter that he has in football. You could see it right on display.
This time it's Tanaka. Will be checking in this matchup.
Substitution for Don Bosco Garelli.
Well, another set piece here, and this, they really should not be wasteful of these opportunities. Don Bosco, they have the numbers, but they really need to pull something off of the training ground and not just do a random ball into the box. But there they go again, and the height advantage of Aguilas really comes into play. Oh, this could be a mistimed pass. Bangi luckily was there to get it. And now Ishi will clear. Aguilas retained possession. And still another form of attack going to them. That added pressure that they have almost forced an unfortunate error for the Don Bosco side. Left side now, they are still scanning. Boubacar goes back to Clarino. And still really patient in the build-up. Aguilas with a good through ball. And into Ishi's hands it goes with that shot.
You gotta love the way that Aguilas are able to bring the ball up. Movement off the ball and on the ball has just been really dominant.
And the off-ball movement is really pristine, really precise. And yung magiging masaya yung teammate mo dyan, you're giving them plenty of options where to feed the ball to. Now, Don Bosco's turn. They have been surrounded by white shirts, but there is a lot of space on that right side. They send it to Bangi. Could not take advantage of it, but it's into the box. They just need the finishing touch. The flag stays down, and Don Bosco has inched them away into that 6-yard line, but still not enough to get an opportunity to shoot.
And you have to really give it to Boubacar Diallo on the back. Diallo has been so good. His composure at the back has really made sure to keep Aguilas with a clean sheet so far. Knowing when to press, knowing when to cover. And it's his leadership that has really set the tone defensively for the side of Coach Frank Muscan.
Well, Don Bosco now just really needs something here in order to get their confidence back. But wow, that was a good defensive play from Aguilas to just get it out. Oh, they lose the ball right in the critical part of the final attacking third. Don Bosco could have another chance to deliver that ball. Right into midfield it goes. Shifts over the play to the left. There they need to make that final connecting pass. 3 people in the box. And Ndai could not, or Ngai rather, could not direct it goalwards. And it's safely in the hands of Shiraoka once again.
Really a lot to do for the side of Garelli, as we've mentioned. Couple of times they find themselves in the attacking third, but not really any dangerous attacks.
They have maybe a handful of opportunities right then and there, but still, it never actually got to a point where they were able to get a shot away. And that's the important thing. You can't score if you can't shoot. But now they are hoping to try another chance here. Don Bosco just passing that ball now, way back to Ishii, and into the back line it goes, scanning for options. Looks like they will pick the right side. Mahinay, long pass into the middle, looking for his teammate. Tanaka just not fast enough. And now ball goes back to the Aguila squad.
Again, it was Diallo in the back. Just being very disruptive. Not allowing the attacking players of Garelli to get a solid contact on the ball on the attack. Making it easier for the goalkeeper, Shiraoka, to pick it up.
And he's a really good tool to have in your back line. Really big, really physical. And so far, he hasn't put a foot wrong as far as his defensive duties are concerned. Like that, again, but this time there could be a run-up to it. And guy could not catch that ball, and the ball goes back. Oh, that will be Don Bosco's ball. And looks like Clarino just preventing that play to be taken quickly. Ooh. And the player goes down. That will be Bukit. And the referee has called a foul in favor of the Aguilas. And the pressure has been released yet again. And we also see their player on the ground. Yes, that's Bongolan there receiving medical treatment on the sidelines.
Not a good sign for Aguilas to see Bongolan down. Let's see now if Garelli can take advantage of the fact that Aguilas are only 10 players on the pitch at the moment.
Well, looks like he is... Oh, looks like they are back to 10. Bongolan has been signaled by the referee to return, but Don Bosco almost had a chance to break through that left side. Steady defensive movement coming from the opponents. Now the ball goes back for a throw. Don Bosco still to keep it. seeing where it would go from here. Don Bosco really needs to get that ball moving now. Oh, the ball goes back to Aguilas for a throw, and it is at a disadvantage.
It's been a comfortable 3-0 for the side of Aguilas. Been in control of the tempo of this game. Had majority of the chances in the first half. And majority of the chances as well in the second half.
I think they're the only ones making chances so far in this game, except for the handful of chances that Don Bosco had. And now they might have another go here. Bukit on the left, waiting for the run from Bulonga. No, he takes it on himself, but the two defenders were enough to get that ball out of his hands, or in this case, his feet.
The players down. That's Bangi for the side of Garelli. Defensive players, of course, from Garelli have had to do a lot in this game. As you mentioned, as you are not dictating the pace, they're constantly reacting, constantly moving.
And you know, that could not just have a damper on your mental state as a defender, but physically, you're gonna have to exert more effort than what you normally do on the training ground. Ball just rolls out. Aguilas still had it.
It is always more tiring to constantly defend than it is to attack. And as you get later into this game, it's 89 minutes already. The longer it is, the more prone you are to creating mistakes in the back. Sharpness goes down and the game opens up even more.
And now it's just 2 minutes. Regulation time is now done. 2 minutes for stoppage, but Aguilas still with the foot on the gas here. They really just want to stamp and assert their dominance, but that one was a bit too aggressive for the referee's tastes. Really, really comfy coming from the Aguilas side, and considering that this is the number 7 versus the number 8 in the league, I guess this is where you can draw the line right now as to where the quality teams are and where it's not. But it's just not going to be good enough for Aguilas if they will stay below the 5th place.
And of course, for the side of Aguilas, they really do want to break into the top 6. It's crucial when they win matches like this. And the manner as well as of how they're going to win this game. It's been very dominant. They've created a lot of chances. A minute left now.
Well, if the game stays as it is, and I really don't see any reason why it wouldn't, they will take 4th place after 6 games. So this is something that they need to hang on to. Below them and really chasing the game, Stallion, Cebu, and Wantagig, 3 teams that also has a lot of quality in them. And at the same time, Wantagig still has 2 more games at hand. So a lot of opportunity to still shift the balance, which they will have tonight. But it's against Gaia. Free kick land here. Don Bosco hoping that they could land it in a sweet spot for someone to just take a swipe.
Chance for Garelli, of course, to at least get a consolation goal in this match.
Deny Aguilas the clean sheet, but not this time. It could just be cleared just as easy. And cleared it is, but Don Bosco just wants to get it back while there is still some seconds left in the game. Looks like the Chris Mark has not yet blown his whistle. He is leaving this to play. And that is the conclusion of this match. A really comfy, well-dominated, well-taken chances from a well-oiled team. Aguilas take 3 points. 3-0 against Don Bosco Garelli United.
And it was a team effort all throughout the match to get the goals, to get the clean sheet, and to make sure that they get the 3 goals and the 3 points from this game. Kudos to Coach Frank Buscan and the side of Aguilas UMAK, getting them on that 4-game winning streak to continue on the great form that they're having in this tournament.
Well, we still have one more game in this doubleheader Sunday, and the table is still not locked in. There is still a lot of changes that can happen after this next upcoming game. With this cements them temporarily in 4th place and is in a good spot to move on to the final rounds. Pero maaga pa ang liga. There are still a lot of games to be had. But for now, Aguilas can celebrate because they have been victorious on a one-sided encounter. Davao Aguilas ends this 3-0 against Don Bosco Garelli United FC. Once again, this is Glenn Casas, who has brought you the action alongside Tasha Alquiros Deto, who had shared her insights, and we are still on game 1. So please stand by for the next game. We will still bring you Juan Taguig and Kaya heading off.
congratulations on the game. What are your thoughts on the result?
Yeah, thank you. I'm very happy with the winning because we very good this game. So happy for this winning 3 point.
How do you plan to move forward, especially next game is a tough game against Cebu?
Next game we will play hard and good training. So hope we will win next game against Cebu. We know it's a tough game, but we will have good mindset to win this game.
And then last, do you have any message to the fans of Aguilas?
For the Aguilas fans, don't forget to come support us again in the next game against Cebu. So don't forget to come support Aguilas here. Thank you.